What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Red Zone Fiends. We got NFL Week 4 going on. First off, we'd like to say thank you to all of our followers on YouTube, our loyal followers, and all of our new followers from TikTok. We appreciate you guys subscribing with us.
Thank you for coming over.
Yes. Thank you guys.
TikTok.
If you guys subscribe from TikTok.
Live. Yeah.
Absolutely. We appreciate the love and just been having a lot of fun with it. So thank you guys. Comment. We'll give you guys a nice shout out. Anything you want to comment, let's go back and forth. Let's talk about football. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we have a couple things we want to go over before we get to our bets. Just 1 second of it. Real quick. It's going to be, if you were in our area, if you know who we are personally, you need anything customized, anything done, made by Diana, you can find her on Instagram. She'll hook you up. Tell her Red Zone Fiends sent you guys, and she has some pretty awesome work. So
good prices, good quality.
Let them know Red Zone Fiends sent you guys, so she'll hook you up. Okay. Also, this is our first week that we play each other on fantasy, so we're gonna do a little something for you guys. Loser, we made a little bet, right?
Yeah,
we made a little bet real quick. Loser is going to shotgun that beer.
No way I'm shotgunning my beer. And what are the odds of going 0-4 in one season? Yeah, my team has underperformed pretty bad, but sooner or later you're going to get a dub.
There it is. Hopefully I'm not his first win of the week, and hopefully he shotguns a beer. So we're going to play for a little shotgun after the following week. Loser chugs a beer. All right, let's get down to our Week 4 bets. What do you got, Frank?
All right, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet and simple. Well, not short and sweet, but I'll keep it simple. All right, so this week I'm looking at that Tampa Bay versus a Saints game. The over-under on that one is 4. Right now, it's Tampa Bay plus 3.5, the Saints minus 3.5. The Saints are the underdog. The Saints are the overdogs. They're favored 170. They're minus 176. Tampa Bay is the underdog at plus 156. Okay, the spread is 105 for the 3.5 and 115 minus for Saints for that minus 3.5. Okay, so this game I like it. It's short. It's a very low scoring game. Tampa is 2 for 3 at the spread this year. Saints are 0-2-1 at the spread this year. So Saints, yeah, you can say, oh, they're gonna get their first win sooner or later. Yeah, but you got to follow the numbers when you're betting. It's all about the numbers. Tampa Bay 19 points per game, and they also give up 19 points per game. Saints give up 16 points per game, and they score 17 points per game. So low scoring game. The over under is 40. So that one's actually looking pretty good too. I think you can go as high as 44.
Yeah, I would say around there.
As high as that, but it's not going to go up there. So I would still lean towards it, but my ultimate thing is I'm going to plus 3.5. I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus 3.5, even though they're traveling to New Orleans. Okay. The reason I think is the quarterback play. Baker Mayfield stats: 636 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick, and his quarterback rating is only 51. He is throwing the ball 67% of the time, completion percentage. So I like him. He's a dog, man. He's not going to put up big numbers. His touchdown interception ratio is okay.
Yeah.
They're not expecting him to do a lot, but he is keeping them in ball games, and he's fighting for wins every week so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna bring a lot of the offense.
Yeah, he's bringing that grit, that hard-nosed grit.
Yes.
That's what he's doing for me. Saints quarterback, I think they're going to end up being a game-time decision, probably with Derek Carr and or Winston. So we don't know. It's either one of those two. But I don't think Derek Carr will play, and if he does play, I don't think they're going to open the book for him. I think they're going to play conservative, thinking our defense is going to win it out. The return of Alvin Kamara, that has a big effect as well. But at the same time, like I said, I just don't see them going balls out with Derek Carr if that shoulder is going to be bothering him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the 3.5 points and go with Tampa Bay. So that's what I'm going to go with this week.
All right, nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. So I'm going to go with 2 bets this week. Okay, so last week we had a hard, tough week. We kind of parlayed it even more than normal. Thinking we kind of had more of the team figured out. Yeah, so it happens. You know, you're not going to win every single bet. Last week we fell kind of hard because the teams that we did parlay, which were the Cowboys and the Jaguars, you know, you just think they're going to automatically dominate. So this week I'm going to cut down on that a little bit, and I'm going to go with just the two teams, and it's going to be the Chargers and Raider game, and it's going to be the Buccaneers also with the Saints. Okay, so first it's going to be the Chargers. They're -5 right now, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that Chargers -5. They have their offense is just, nobody can slow them down. It doesn't matter who you are, you know. Raiders defense they made Pickett look really good. So I'm going to go with Chargers -5. Jimmy G might not play, and I don't even think that's going to be a factor. We've seen kind of how he played last week.
I'm looking forward to Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, so Aiden O'Connell is third on the depth chart. So really, Brian Hoyer is expected to start if Jimmy. But even so, throwing Aiden O'Connell in there, I can't expect him to take down the Chargers his very first game.
Well, the Chargers' defense is one of the worst defense on paper. They have one of the best defenses on paper. Yeah, I understand that, but they're crap. They underperform. They lost to a Vikings team, right? The Vikings in that shootout. The Vikings' defense, they're horrible as well. That's why it was a shootout.
I just can't see the Raiders in a shootout with the Chargers.
The Raiders go 500 with them every year, but you just don't know what game. We're either going to get blown out or we'll squeak by with a win. And so you're going with blowout this week, which is, safe to say that's probably the higher percentage of a safe win right now.
Yeah.
Right now, we just, without a quarterback, and even if they do go Aiden O'Connell, I think right now that's just too much for the Raiders to handle with that Charger offense.
Yeah. So I'm going to put that in a two-leg parlay. So I'm going to have the Chargers -5. And then I'm going to go back to that Buccaneer game and Saints game that you were talking about. And I 100% agree with you on that. I think the Buccaneers are going to win. Derek Carr, if he plays, he's not going to be 100. There's just not I don't even think they're trying to let him play. But, with all him talking, saying he's still trying to play. But sometimes playing is not what's best, if he's not fully healthy.
I don't think he will play.
No,
just
I don't think so either.
Because he keeps saying that, he keeps mentioning that if I just can't go, then I can't go.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, to me, that sounds not 100% positive that he can go. It just means that he's getting treatment. He's trying to go. But in the end, if he's not ready to go, he's not going to go.
Yeah, so that'll bring us to Jameis Winston.
Turnover machine.
Yeah, what can we say? Tampa Bay defense is pretty damn good. They had a
17-point lead.
They lost to the Eagles, but they're the Eagles.
No, not the Eagles. The Green Bay Packers. They had a 17-point.
Oh yeah, exactly. So Packers. Yes, that brings.
Derek Carr went out.
That brings me to that point. Yeah. So, Winston's gonna face a tough defense. He couldn't move the ball too much, and I get it. He's probably rusty a little bit, but still, he couldn't move the ball, and he's gonna go against the Buccaneers, who, even if you're Drew Brees, they're going to give you a hard time, man. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Very underrated defense right now. I know everybody's on the Saints and the Niners and the Bills, but you have the Bucs right there. The only reason I feel like their numbers are even more they're not real numbers because their defense is on the field a lot of part of the game. You know what I mean? So I think those stats are padded against them. I think they're a good, fast, underrated defense.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely underrated. So that'll give me, I'm going to do Buccaneers money line, okay? So that's a plus 146. Yes, they're playing in New Orleans, but, that team is hungry. That team is focused. I don't think they're going to lose. I'll be surprised if they lose. So if we get the Chargers -5, that'll bring minus 110, and then the Buccaneers plus 146. So I'm going to risk just $30 to win 110. I feel like that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that actually is.
And I feel pretty good about those two. Like I said, I kind of brought it down a lot from the parlays. Those are my main bets.
But we do the parlays. If you can go 50%, and your parlays are over plus 300, then you're good.
Yeah.
You're going to take home a lot of money. You're going to take home a good amount of money.
Yes. So with that being
Especially
said,
when you get on a roll.
So risking $30 for 110 on, I feel like a pretty good bet. I think we're gonna get back into that win column. Yeah. Week 1, week 2, we had pretty good success. I had pretty good success. Week 3, we fell hard, kind of ate shit a little bit. But yeah, so just for giggles, I did put 2 crazy parlays. It's only $10. I thought I just might throw this in because if I do hit, I'm going to bring you guys back to this. I'm going to bring it back on live. I'm going to bring it back on the next video. So, real quick, Miami and Buffalo, I have them going over 53. The Chiefs, I have them minus 8.5. And then I have the Vikings and Panthers over 56. I have the Dolphins plus 2.5. Eagles minus 9. Okay, that's one of them. So, for $10, that's going to win you $255, which is great. So I have 2 of those. My second one is Chiefs once again, minus 8.5. Philadelphia also minus 9. Arizona Cardinals and San Francisco 49ers, who I think they're going to dominate the Cardinals, even after they beat the Cowboys, over 43.5. Then I have the Vikings and Panthers once again at 46.5. So $10 right there is going to bring me 120. So if any of those 3 bets hit, I'm golden. But like I said, those parlays, man, one little thing could mess them up. So I did not put a lot of money on them. Those are kind of for what I thought of the games anyway, and I just threw $10 in it to try to make a nice hit. My 2 main bets are the Chargers and the Buccaneers. Chargers minus 5 and Buccaneers money line. Okay, and that's the one of we went deeper into a little bit of research, but
all right, so I actually have a fast 5 real quick. I just put these together. I was looking in depth real quick, but this is what I got so far. I'm going to go Tampa plus 35 or plus 3.5. It's going to be a minus 105 versus Saints. I'm going to go Philly money line minus 420 versus Commanders. New England, I'm going to take the 6 with the minus 107 against the Cowboys. Frisco, I'm going to take the money line. That spread is just too high for me. I just don't like it. This is more of an odds booster. Minus 1,000 against Cardinals. Kansas City also money line. I didn't like that. That was too much. I don't want to give up that much against the Jets either. Money line minus 420 versus Jets. 20 to win 105. To me, in my eyes, I'm really looking at playing with Tampa Bay 3.5, 3.5, and then New England the 6. I really feel like San Francisco, Kansas City, Tampa, and Philly, they're all automatic locks. So we're really leaning up on Tampa Bay, New England on those. Those can hold up, then 20 to win a 105. I don't think it's out of the question.
So if you guys had any bets that hit last week or anything, let me know in the comments, man.
What are you guys doing this
or
week?
If you guys are doing anything this week, we'd like to know. We do live bets all the time, we don't just have enough time to do YouTubes. Like yesterday, Thursday night, I had a live bet with Green Bay plus 14.5, depending on how the game flow is going. Thankfully, I won that one. Stuff like that. So let us know. We are some gambling mans, dude. We love it. We love football season. We love gambling. Frank does a lot of baseball. I do a lot of UFC. Huge fight with Charlo and Canelo. So, let us know if you're betting anything. We want to know.
In baseball, I'm over. We're over. We cleared 500 and cleared 600 actually in the last week. So. Hopefully that can translate over to football. Simplify it down. I think in football I was just kind of going too far off the rails with stuff. Looking for the
it's that for me. It's that like I won a couple and I'm like a football genius now, and then I kind of got my ass kicked last week. Yeah, and now we got I absolutely got humbled.
Jackpot or two, think you're big, and then
I won a couple hundred first week, couple hundred the second week, and then I got humbled the third week. So now I got to get back on track. So sometimes we need to do that. Absolutely, man. It's just fun though. I'm excited to win, knowing I got my ass kicked last week. Honestly,
So we'll get back at it. So we'll see you guys Sunday for that. Let's get into our fantasy. we're 0-3. I'm 0-3 at least, but in your league I'm 2-1.
Yeah.
Easily could have been 3-0.
Yeah.
Played like you said. We play each other this week. Who in your who in your lineup right now do you think is going to have a good game versus who's going to have a bad game potentially?
Okay, potentially. Let's see. I will say I'm gonna do a little tie on our game for my team because it's hard to say that one's gonna do good and not the other. But Tyreek Hill and Tua Valoa, I have them both. So if one of them does great, then the other one's gonna do great. So I'm gonna say they're gonna go off. They're freaking hot right now. Jalen Waddle's back. Yes, it's gonna take some targets away, but that's gonna take some of the cornerbacks away. So they're just gonna keep going hot. They're on fire. There's nothing stopping them.
70 points is a big deal.
Yes. So and for someone that's on my team that I don't think they're gonna perform. Well, I already had Aaron Jones underperform, but I'll just go ahead and say I'm gonna go ahead and say T. Higgins. I mean, he's just a hit and miss.
Yeah.
It's just so unreliable. He's one of the players I'm trying to get off the team. Because he is going to have his good weeks, but he's also going to have his bad weeks. This week, I feel like he can have a bad week. What about you? What players? Who's going to go off and mess my shit up, and who is going to?
Okay, so I'm tied between the bottom two right now. In the bottom two, I'm going with easily freaking quarterback, Chicago Bears.
Oh, you have Justin Fields. That's Justin right. Fields. All right, he's doing great. Hey.
I forgot his name. Goddamn, dude.
Oh man,
horrible playing against a Denver's defense, who actually is really, really good, but they're just on.
They got creamed. They got creamed by the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
It's a horrible matchup with playing man to man against two offense so fast like that. You can't cover Tyreek Hill man to man. Nobody can.
I'm gonna double down and say he isn't gonna do too good, and not just because I'm hoping he doesn't do too good, but because Denver's gonna come out hungry, man. They got embarrassed.
They're gonna beat the crap out of Chicago. I think.
Really? Yeah.
I think Fields, he looked bad last week. Sacked a lot. Took off a lot. Didn't look nowhere near NFL ready.
Yeah.
He looked like he was playing backyard football.
Backyard bull stuff. Yeah.
Man, horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's my uniform. The other one, Breece Hall. Ever since Aaron left the lineup, Hall hasn't had any breathing room at all.
And do you know who they're playing? The Chiefs. Yes, so they're gonna have to abandon that running game fast. Yes, I can see that as well.
But you look later on. Right now, they're playing hard teams though. They've played really, really good defensive teams.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame Breece Hall for not being able to do anything. But at the same time, you got to perform. And he's not performing.
Absolutely.
And then my boomer. Oh man, I don't even know who to go with my boomer. I think maybe Alvin Kamara. Maybe those.
Well, you're trading him for Mike Evans.
Actually, I am trading him for
right.
Mike Evans. I am getting.
And Mike Evans is gonna face Lattimore, right?
Lattimore, yeah.
Lattimore,
I don't expect that.
Yes,
much
and they go hard on each other, and I love it. So Lattimore's gonna kind of cut his production in half this week, maybe.
Yeah. So I would have to say Kamara only because of the fact that he's coming back. He's fresh legs. They're going to want to utilize him a lot in the passing game because Derek Carr is or isn't going to hurt.
Yes, and his two backup running backs are out.
Yes,
so they're kind of all they have. They have right now. Derek Carr's out.
And he's fresh. He's 100%. No whole bar. So I would have to say Kamara if currently. But since he's out of my lineup,
I love it. It's too hard to decide. Yeah.
I
love it. I love the way this is sounding right now.
To decide, man. Because everybody's been underperforming. I would have. In the end, I'm gonna end up having to say Garrett Wilson probably.
Okay.
He's had low numbers, 11 points per game, but he's still meeting. That's his base requirements. So he's in these requirements, even though he's only getting like 40 yards and a touchdown.
All right, okay. All right, we'll see how Garrett does.
Game, but he's my Mr. Reliable. I'm expecting somebody has to boom on my team. My starting lineup right now, for everybody who doesn't know, is I have Justin Fields at quarterback, Garrett Wilson, that receiver. Him, I expected big things from him because of Rodgers, and that fell.
Instantly. 3 plays later, it fell, yeah.
Crashed and burned, okay? So he's getting touchdowns and everything, but he's only getting 40 yards. So I'll give him 10 or 11 points, which is not good or anything. Then I got DJ Moore, expected to put up 1,000 or 1,100 yards with Justin Fields this year. I was like, you know what? He's number one. Justin Fields is running. I'll get the points for his rushing touchdowns and his passing touchdowns, which he has less than 3 or 4 on the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that backfired too. I also have Barkley. Barkley was out. He got hurt. I have Breece Hall. Breece Hall is doing Breece Hall things, underperforming. And then I have the Carolina Panthers is tied in. What's his name? Hunt or something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't even call it right now.
Yeah, and then Watson. I had Watson play. Christian Watson finally came back. He scored a touchdown, 20 yards. So, yeah, I don't know where I'm going to get my explosions from, but it's going to happen this week. I'm going to get my first dub, and Josh is going to be chugging a beer live this Sunday.
Yeah, well, we're going to find that out. You have a good start. Aaron Jones did horrible. So, all right, so.
It's going to be the battle of the underperformers. Who's not going to perform versus who underperforms. Because if you underperform, you're actually going to get up a decent amount of points. Yeah. One of us is not going to perform.
Yeah.
Somebody's team is not going to perform this week.
Okay, so let's switch it over to fantasy overall, not just our teams. A couple of things we got going. Couple of questions. We'll go ahead and start off. I'll ask you a couple of questions about these players I have listed down for us. Number one, you said you traded him off. Alvin Kamara. How's he going to do? How do you predict?
Give it this week. I don't expect too much from him. Simple check downs. He might not be 100% like full go. 100. He might not. But then it depends on how they use Derek Carr or Winston. If it's Winston, then I'll expect a little bit more volume throwing, but not too much. Derek Carr, if he's 100%, then I expect the offense to be spreading the ball around, spreading out and everything, and utilize him a lot in the screen in the passing game because Derek Carr loves to check down. So it could vary, but most likely I expect him this week to go. I'll safely predict 50, 60 rushing yards, 30 receiving yards, and a touchdown.
That's not bad. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Touchdown, throw a touchdown in there. Right.
Yeah, and a touchdown. He'll get out of there.
So pretty good, actually, for his first game. So CJ Stroud. Is CJ Stroud pickup worthy now? He's been doing his last couple games. He's been on fire. Is it time to pick him up and maybe at least hold him on your bench?
If you have Justin Fields, yeah, you pick him up and you pick him up real quick. Snatch him. Because, he is performing.
Yes.
He's not putting up amazing numbers, but he's putting up good numbers for a solid.
He's beating a lot of the a lot of quarterbacks that were drafted to start your team, like Trevor Lawrence. He's beating out Derek Carr.
You know what? This year it's been a lot of defense. I know Miami just went off for 70, but that's a whole different story. But we're talking defense overall. Look at the Saints. Look at how the Niners are playing. Look at how the Eagles are playing. Look at how the Kansas City Chiefs are playing. Even though they've lost, Jacksonville's defense looks good. Even though they've lost, don't have a good record, the Cincinnati's defense is good. Denver, other than that blowout, Denver's defense has always been good consistently. For some reason, Cleveland Browns' defense has been looking good. It's been even though it's an offensive league, the defenses are dominating.
Yes, and
we're seeing at least me. I'm noticing in the fantasy overall projections and stuff. Last year, we were going about 150, 160. This year, the projections are down to like 120, 130. The offenses are down.
Yeah.
And it's showing on fantasy football to me. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but I've noticed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like it, man. I like that kind of mix-up. Unless my quarterback's playing. But, all right. Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt. Last week had said Kareem Hunt is going to take over that position in a couple weeks. But after one game, I would like to say Ford they're going to be their guy, man. I think he's going to be their guy moving forward. Kareem Hunt played one game. He's already banged up, and I get it. It's his first game of the season. But Ford's not slowing down. He's not showing any sign of giving it to Kareem Hunt. Yeah.
Should have drank some milk.
Yeah. And then, so we'll switch to Trevor Lawrence now. Trevor Lawrence, What do you guys think? Keep or let's move on? I remember trying to go for Trevor Lawrence for a trade, and it was kind of tough because he was going to be your starting quarterback fantasy guy who's going to get you those points every week. He's not doing that so much this year. So what are we going to do with him? What would you do with him, Trevor Lawrence?
Stash him.
Stash him. You're going to keep him just on that bench, leave him there for a little bit.
Too explosive to be in this drought. They're going to catch on. Something's going to happen. Something's going to click around in the next couple of weeks, and I expect him to be airing the ball out. Okay. I think, to me personally, what I believe is going on is they're not running the ball adequately.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is kind of like a Jared Goff kind of feel. Tall, lanky quarterback, but he excels in play action. He excels in that. I feel like they're doing too much drop back and pass.
Yeah.
Too much. That's not his game. His game is he's a good rollout. He's got a strong, powerful arm. Just like Jared Goff. Now that I think about it, what's the difference?
His long hair, man.
Yeah. But
sunshine, dude.
It's just you got Goff with the experience. But you look at them on paper, they both look the same. They're both tall, lanky, powerful arms. They're not super athletic, but they're athletic enough to get out of a pickle.
Yeah.
So I would stash him, wait for that offensive kick, especially with Calvin Ridley. Right now, I think what's going on is maybe they're trying to figure out where the ball should go. Who should get the ball? Is it Christian Kirk, their high paid man? Is it Zay Jones, their other guy, their possession receiver? Or is it Calvin Ridley?
Yeah.
The new guy, the new big acquisition. You know what I mean? They got to figure it out. But they got to figure it out fast because they can't afford to lose too many more games.
Yeah, for sure. So that's all. That's what I got on mine. What's up? What do you have?
All right, so fantasy underperformers. All right. Ooh. Agree or disagree? Josh Jacobs.
Absolutely agree. Do I think he's going to get it together? I keep saying yes every week. This is going to be the last hope I have for him. I feel like he's going to get it together versus the Chargers. But if he doesn't, then try to dump him. I would just not trust McDaniel's offense. But he has been underperforming. And yes, underperformer. He's definitely in the underperformer.
Josh Jacobs, 21 points. Ramondre Stevenson, 27 points.
I mean, he's not what we expected, but he's not totally out of the, hey, let's get rid of this guy so far. Zeke did put up 70 rushing yards, but I don't think it's going to be that fast to get rid of Stevenson. I would hang on to him for sure. So he's underperforming at the moment, just slightly, but I would hang on to him. I would say he's going to get more involved, get it together.
Justin Fields, 37 points.
Ooh. Man, I wouldn't trust it.
3 games.
I wouldn't trust it anymore.
Time to move on.
I mean, you might say, "Oh, hey, he's going to hit. I know it, he's Justin Fields, he's going to get some runs in but I mean, how long is this guy even going to start, man, So
at some point
he's underperforming. He was supposed to be a top quarterback this year. He's kind of supposed to be like the next Lamar Jackson kind of deal when Lamar kind of won MVP. Not saying he's going to win. He was MVP worthy. But in fantasy-wise, he was supposed to be a huge fantasy quarterback. Underperformed for sure. Try to get rid of him.
I got him in the 8th round thinking that was a steal.
Yeah, definitely underperformed.
Got robbed my 8th round pick.
Yeah.
Underperformed. Joe Burrow, 27 points.
Joey B. He is hurt, man. He's hurt. You can't give any excuses to fantasy. You just can't. There's no excuses to fantasy.
Numbers don't care.
But I would not get rid of Joey B. Last year he had a slow start. This year he's having another slow start. He's injured at the same time. But once he catches maybe a bye week or a long week after a short week, Joey B's going to get it together. I would not get rid of him. I would not bench him. Stick with your man, Joey B.
Garrett Wilson, 29 points.
Okay, dump him. Dump him,
trade bait.
Trade him, blah, 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 anything. In my league, actually, with you're a part of my boy Matty Ice, right away, instantly. He just got rid of him for Ramondre Stevenson and another guy.
Paid off. Well, that paid off.
Ramondre Stevenson,
Well,
and who else
Wilson's
was it?
averaging. He's averaging 40 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, so he's not doing too bad,
But
he's not what you expected. He's not
He's not going to score a touchdown.
He's not that
either.
third or fourth rounder that you have too many receivers playing better than
I got
him.
him in the second round, I think.
Exactly. So he's underperforming. Try to get rid of him for what you need. If you have receivers, go get a running back. You know.
DJ Moore.
Oh man,
points.
Untrustworthy. Same as Justin Fields. You have to rely on Justin Fields. You know that's where you have to.
Justin Fields at least gets rushing yards.
Yes, so Justin Fields has a chance to maybe get his projections, but he doesn't. Man, you have to rely on Justin Fields' passing game. He's an underperformer. DJ Moore, you get rid of him. I drafted him pretty high actually. 5th round. I drafted him 5th round, and I have everybody on my team on my bench. My kickers are outscoring him, so get rid of him. I wouldn't even try to trade him. Who's gonna want him?
Christian Kirk, 23 points.
Hang on to Christian Kirk.
Odell Beckham Jr., 6 points.
OBJ.
His contract is the reason why he's on this list.
Yes, so I mean, we all figured he wasn't going to be like the super stud he was going to be,
a year.
But we thought he was going to be a big contributor to that Ravens offense, and it's just horrible, man. You just get rid of him. Don't try to trade him. He's not worth anything. Find somebody on your bench. Maybe you're a Chargers receiver since Mike Williams is down. Anything. Get rid of OBJ.
DeAndre Hopkins, 17 points.
Ooh, unreliable, man. The highest I would put him at is a flex. I would only flex that guy, and that's even if I had to. It's just super unreliable. That Titans offense is not doing good.
All right, and last on the list, Dalvin Cook, 8 points.
Yes. Also, Dalvin Cook, I would just say, man, why do you have him on your team anymore, man? Breece Hall is their guy. Dalvin Cook is their second guy, and their offense.
He's a handcuff at the very most.
Yes, if Breece Hall goes down, I guess then you want to keep him.
If you have extra room on your bench, if you have a stacked team and you have extra room on your bench, then he's a stasher. And
if Breece Hall goes down, would I start Cook? I don't know. If I'm short at running backs, maybe, but even that, Yeah. So total underperformer.
Okay, so we have your top fantasy exploders. These are some of the top names that we have, and tell me what they're doing this year so well. What's going on? How are they playing? Okay. So Mostert, 73 points.
Okay, Mostert is the number one running back right now. I am a Mostert owner out of both leagues. I got him around. Let's see where did I get him? I got him in the 2nd round, as 12th round. I'm sorry, not 2nd. 12th round in my league, and I think I got him around the 10th round in the other league, and he is the number one running back. The scary part is that A-Chain is right behind him.
Yeah.
They're already suspecting he's gonna take his spot. Oh, shit. The only thing that Mostert has for him is that he's been more consistent. He has more points than any running back. From week 1 to week 3, he's been putting up touchdowns, yards. I mean, you name it. So. Don't give up on Mostert yet. You got to feel it the next couple weeks. But, man, what a steal. That is a steal for me. So, it's a great pick.
Mike Evans, 47 points.
Wow. Yeah, Mike Evans. Who would have thought? I think he was drafting, the 5th round, 4th round?
5th round.
Yeah.
5th round.
I did not. I was like, whoa. I would not trust it.
Consistency. 1,000 yards receiving.
Yes.
But it's because Baker Mayfield.
That's what it is. You just didn't know how Baker's going to be. Yeah. And I've always liked Baker. I felt like he's always trying to win, and that's the main.
He's real competitive.
Super competitive. But it is showing that he has it, man. He can definitely be a starter. And Mike Evans is showing that he is a top receiver in the league. He's one of the best receivers right now, and he's not slowing down. Maybe this week he's gonna slow it down a little bit facing the Saints. But I believe you traded Kamara for him. I thought that was a good trade. You don't know how Kamara's going to do, but we do know how Evans is doing, and he's going to keep that same points up week in, week out.
All right, Keenan Allen, 58 points.
Same exact thing. Keenan Allen, to me, I was like, I'm not going to draft him.
hurt. Everybody gets scared because he's hurt.
Always
all the
getting
time.
hurt.
But so far, he's exploded.
His age is up there, but one thing you always got to remember is he has Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is a passing machine, and he will find Keenan Allen. And I just got a huge reminder of that, and I'm already looking to draft him next year.
All right, and then Puka Nakua, 34 points.
So he's been doing amazing. I picked him up in the free agency. Thankfully, I had a low waiver. Yeah, what can you say, man? He's been doing great. The only thing is that how is it going to be when Cooper Kupp gets back?
Yeah, how's that split going to be?
How is he going to be? I fully think Cooper Kupp is going to have all the targets again. And I have Nakua, and I'm afraid I'm about to lose my top receiver on my team. Yeah.
I think it'll open up things more and now it makes Stafford think, I got two secure off. I don't have to force it.
So you believe he's going to still get some targets and all that?
I believe it's going to knock it down from like the 15 to like maybe 8, 9.
Yeah.
9 targets. But I think they're not, when he is targeted, he won't be double covered. So there's room for yards after catch.
Yeah. So he's definitely not going to be the same. He's not going to be the Cooper Kupp.
He's not going to get the same volume. But I do believe that he'll get better looks.
Yes.
He might even get his average pass downfield might go up. So he can take, if Kupp takes a double team for a drag route and then Nakua goes over the top or something. You know what I mean? Something like that.
He's going to be flex. To me, he's going to be flex worthy. You're still going to want to keep him in that flex. You still, especially PPR. You got it. Rams are passing that ball. They just constantly pass that ball. So keep him in at least at flex.
Sam Laporta.
Ooh, Laporta. I made a huge mistake in week 1. I had Laporta in the free agent, and I had Ferguson in the free agent. I chose Ferguson, and Laporta proved me wrong. If you can get your hands on Laporta, if you could trade, if you have extra players, get Laporta. He's going to, Goff is a passer too, man. He that is one of his main targets. Hawkinson is not in Detroit. That is the new Hawkinson. Get that kid.
All right. Now we're gonna go we can't say it on YouTube, or we can't say it, but we're gonna go garbage list.
I'll go ahead and let you. Go ahead. Okay. Who do you got?
Okay, I got Kyle Pitts.
10
points.
Man. Oh,
easily.
Ooh.
Easily disappointment. Every year after year after year. You ever see that meme with that little kid crying saying, "I'll trade you Kyle Pitts for a cheeseburger," and then he's eating that cheeseburger, but he's crying. That little kid. That's what that is. I'll gladly take a cheeseburger. I wouldn't even cry no more. I'd just be like, dude, I'm tired.
Do you think it's his fault?
Man, I don't know. I think he doesn't have. There's no stability at quarterback, and a lot of it is his fault. I've seen him drop passes multiple times, but I don't know. Jonathan Taylor. He's on this list because he refuses to play. He refuses to sign a contract.
Yeah, so there's that update with Jonathan Taylor. He said, Colts don't want to give me a long extension, a long term, and he doesn't want to play for the Colts. So I would absolutely get rid of Jonathan Taylor if you have him on the team, because great running backs who go to different teams, like Dalvin Cook, who else was it? A couple good running backs. They switch, not before Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers, Le'Veon Bell. Just
Melvin Gordon.
They're never the same. They're never the same. Jonathan Taylor.
Next on that list. Huh?
He just, when they do trade him off, do not expect that volume. Do not expect him to be Jonathan Taylor on the Colts. He's gone. Zach Moss is taking his spot. Zach Moss is doing great because they're a running team. They're a great running team. They know how to work whatever running back. Yes, he's super hungry. So
Taylor wants money before he plays. Breece Hall's playing hard to get the money.
I feel like you can get rid of Jonathan Taylor for a pretty decent price right now. So I would do it.
Breece Hall.
Yes, that's another unreliable, garbage player. And
well, you got to look at who they played though. They played Buffalo.
That's true. They have played some pretty tough teams.
Some pretty hard teams.
But now every team knows, man. Stack the box. We're gonna make Zach Wilson pass on us. So, if he does have a good game, I can only see like 80 yards and a touchdown, man. I can't see him having those huge Breece Hall games he had last year. So trade him, get rid of him.
All right, and before we wrap it up, what are your thoughts on two topics? We have to talk about it because everybody else is talking about it. How do you feel about Taylor Swift putting on Travis Kelce? What do you think about him putting him on the map? Nobody knew who he was until Taylor Swift went to a game.
Chiefs weren't even relevant until Taylor Swift, came through. So.
Yeah, nobody knew who Travis Kelce was.
No,
he was he's a nobody. But she's kicking off. But you know what though? When it's all said and done, and this whole story kicks over. And it relaxes once they go steady and everything. Let's just say 6 months from now or whatever, 8 months from now or whatever, right? You go back and then you look back and you think, like, man, who would have thought Taylor Swift really got with Travis Kelce, dude? It's freaking crazy. Like,
that's some funny stuff. Hey, football is full of surprises, man. Football is that one threw me off. That is a curveball right there. So.
And you know what? I was watching on TikTok today, and all those little TikTok pranks about the wives telling, "Oh, well, we don't know who. Nobody knew who he was, and Taylor Swift did set him off, and he's now relevant." Those pranks, whatever. What's funny is that his jersey sales went up 400% supposedly.
He's like the number one jersey sale right now. All the females are walking around, man.
Just off of her going to his game. So there is some truth to her. I mean, there is some truth to it. People who don't really I don't listen to the radio, really. I listen to strictly music from my phone or something. You know what I mean? But I know who Taylor Swift is. Not my cup of tea, but I know who Taylor Swift is. Okay? Then when you hear the name Travis Kelce, most girls don't know who he is, period. You know what I mean? So it is a little, I understand why they say, like he's relevant to girl world, yeah. But in a household football name, that's a disrespect. That man is the only tight end in history that you ever think, man, is he a top 5 fantasy pick? When has there ever been a tight end like that? That's a top 5 fantasy pick. When?
Yeah, and I don't appreciate Taylor Swift using Kelce for popularity.
Antonio Gates? No.
Oh man, that's some funny stuff.
But yeah, I had to talk. All right, so what are your thoughts about that? Like come on, man. I understand it's a small world and everything. The guy went on a dating show, had 50 girls compete or something like that to get with him or whatever. So I'm just like, man.
Oh man.
These people.
All right, so once again, thank you guys for following in. We will be live TikTok Sunday from 10 to 1 o'clock this week. Come and join us. Let's watch some football. Let's talk betting. Let's do our fantasy teams. We're in support for your team, so show us some support. Follow us on TikTok, and thank you guys.
In the chat, in the comments, put how do you think the Jets should go on about. I know we didn't get to this, but in the comments, how do you think the Jets should go about the rest of their year at quarterback? Do they ride it out with Zach Wilson? Do they write it out with him and call it a lost season and wait for Aaron to come back next year? Or do they go out and trade for somebody? Do they sign somebody? Colin Kaepernick was putting in a sent letter or something like that. What do you do? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.
All right, we'll see you guys. Good luck.